What if I told you? There's one star in K-pop who hasn't just stayed popular, he's been untouchable for over 2 straight years. Not for one comeback, not for one viral moment, not because of controversy, but because millions of people simply refuse to stop showing up for him. And yes, that star is BTS's Jin. Because while the industry keeps changing, trends keep shifting, and new names rise every week, Jin is still staying at number 1, again and again and again. And honestly, at this point, it's no longer just impressive, it's becoming legendary. So let's talk about what just happened, because Jin didn't just win another fan vote. He extended a record so insane it almost doesn't sound real. According to the latest results from My One Pick, Jin ranked number 1 in the K-pop individual category for the 3rd week of March, earning a jaw-dropping 7,569,878 votes. Yes, over 7.5 million votes. And if that sounds huge, wait until you hear the part that really changes everything. With this latest victory, Jin has now ranked number 1 for 108 consecutive weeks. Let that sink in. 108 weeks. That's not a lucky streak. That's not temporary popularity. That's not just comeback hype. That is consistency on a level very few artists ever reach. Week after week, month after month, year after year. Fans are still there, still voting, still supporting, still proving that Jin's influence is not fading. If anything, it's becoming even more powerful. And what makes this even more emotional is that this kind of achievement says something bigger than numbers. Because votes like this don't happen just because someone is famous. They happen because people feel connected. Because people care. Because somewhere in the world, millions of fans still look at Jin and think, yes, he's still my one pick. And if that wasn't enough, Jin also dominated the February One Pick chart K-pop solo category, where he claimed his 23rd consecutive number 1 title. 23 in a row. At this point, Jin isn't just winning charts. He's building a wall of records so high that it's becoming harder and harder for anyone to even come close. And the numbers behind this win make it even more impressive. He recorded 13.32% in the monthly chart and a massive 24.48% in the One Pick chart, showing overwhelming strength in the combined total. Now, for people who don't usually follow these rankings, this is actually a really important detail. Because the One Pick chart isn't just a casual popularity poll. It's calculated using a 50-50 system. 50% comes from the cumulative monthly votes, and 50% comes from the One Pick chart votes. That means this isn't just about one good voting day or one sudden fan push. This is sustained power. It shows that Jin's support is not random. It's organized, loyal, and incredibly strong over time. And that's exactly why this matters so much. Because when an artist keeps dominating under a system like that, it tells you one thing very clearly. His fandom is not only big, it's committed. But honestly, that still isn't the full story. Because Jin isn't just leading weekly charts, he's also been maintaining another record that is quietly becoming one of the most unbelievable stats of his solo career. Jin has now ranked number 1 in the K-pop individual monthly rankings for 26 consecutive months. That's over 2 full years of staying on top. And when you think about how fast the K-pop world moves, that is absolutely wild. New songs come out every week, new trends explode overnight, attention shifts in seconds. And yet somehow, through all of that, Jin keeps remaining exactly where he's been, at the top. That kind of longevity doesn't happen by accident. It happens when an artist leaves a lasting emotional mark. When people don't just admire you, they trust you. They root for you. They stay with you. And if you needed even more proof of Jin's influence, he also took first place in the February My One Pick donation star vote. And honestly, I love this part. Because it reminds us that Jin's power isn't only about fame, visuals, or performance. It's also about positive influence. The kind of influence that moves people not just to cheer, but to participate in something meaningful. And maybe that's one of the biggest reasons why his name keeps rising no matter what. Because Jin doesn't just inspire attention, he inspires affection. Now here's where things get even more exciting. Because all of this is happening at a time when BTS is once again commanding attention in a huge way. On March 20th, BTS released their 5th studio album, ARIRANG. And almost immediately, the spotlight turned toward one thing fans couldn't stop talking about: Jin's presence. Because during BTS The Comeback Live ARIRANG held in Gwangwon, Jin once again reminded everyone why he continues to stand out no matter how many stars are on stage. And if you've ever watched Jin perform live, you already know exactly what I mean. There's just something about him, that calm confidence, that polished elegance, that ability to look completely effortless while still commanding the entire room. And at this concert, he reportedly delivered exactly what fans have come to expect from him, and maybe even more. Outstanding visuals, stable live vocals, a high-quality performance. And honestly, that combination is dangerous. Because there are idols who are known for visuals. There are idols known for vocals. There are idols known for fan power. But Jin keeps proving that he's not just strong in one area, he's strong in all of them. And that's what makes this moment feel so important. Because when you step back and look at the full picture, what we're seeing right now is not just another Jin update. We're watching the continued rise of an artist who has quietly become one of the most complete and enduring stars in K-pop. He has the music, he has the stage presence, he has the visuals, he has the fan loyalty, he has the influence, and maybe most importantly, he has that rare quality that can't really be manufactured. He makes people stay. That's the real story here. Not just that Jin is still winning, but that after all this time, people still believe in him just as strongly as ever, and maybe even more than before. Because 108 consecutive weeks at number 1 doesn't just say Jin is popular, it says Jin is loved, Jin is trusted, Jin is still a force. And right now, with BTS entering a powerful new era and Jin continuing to break record after record, one thing is becoming impossible to ignore. We may not just be witnessing success, we may be witnessing history. So the real question now is, how much higher can Jin actually go when he's already this unstoppable? Because if this is what he's doing now, I don't think we've seen his peak yet.